Hey guys, welcome back to Crochet and Ballet. Thank you so much for watching this video. Today we're going to be making this cute little pig. I made a couple of these. One's a little bit smaller, one a little bit darker color pink, and the other is a little lighter and a little bigger, but they both were made exactly the same way, just adding a row to make one bigger. And so we are going to start off this tutorial here in just a second. First, I just want to say I really do appreciate you watching, and if you would, please do subscribe to our channel and like this video and share it if you can. We would greatly appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get started making this cute little stuffed pig. The things that you're going to need today, first let's go over the yarn that I used to make the larger size pig. Just a soft pink. I love this yarn. I got it at Hobby Lobby. So see, this says to use a 5.5 millimeter hook. I'm going to use a 5 millimeter hook just because I want the stitches to be a little bit tighter since it is going to be stuffed. I like to do it where it's a little tighter. So I am, like I said, going to use a 5 millimeter hook. And also you're going to need something to stuff your little pig with. So you can, I'm just using just regular fiber fill stuffing that I got, and so yeah, I'm using 5 millimeter. Finally found my hook. And you're also going to need, I'm using safety eyes. You could crochet your eyes if you want to, but I'm just going to use those little safety eyes, a yarn needle, and some scissors. So that is all that you're going to need today, and let's go ahead and get started here. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a magic circle, and if you haven't made one of those before, I'm going to show you how to do it. It's not too hard. You want to kind of have a long tail. Wrap it around those two fingers like that, and I hold mine down with my pinky, and see, it kind of makes an X there across your fingers. You're going to put your hook through the bottom part of that X, then yarn over, pull through, and that is how you start your magic circle. I like to hold mine with my fingers like that and get started. What we're going to do is just chain up one, and we're going to yarn over and do a half double crochet right into that circle, and we are going to do 12 half double crochets into this magic circle. So that's all you do, is you're just working into that circle half double crochets until you get to 12. And then I sometimes, when I like to pull that, make it just a little bit tighter as I go along. It doesn't really matter. You can pull it all the way at the end. So once we get to 12, we're going to pull that tail end all the way tight and tighten it up, and then we'll slip stitch to close. And we just have a couple more here, and then you're just going to pull that tight. Give it a good tug to get it nice and tight, and that closes up the circle, and that's going to give us 12 all the way around, and we are going to slip stitch into that very first one. So you just yarn over and pull it through both of those to close. That is the end of round 1. And now for round 2, let me get more of my yarn out here. For round 2, we are just going to chain up 1, and we're going to do 2 half double crochets into every single stitch around. So at the end of this round you will have 24 stitches, and we're just doing 2 into every single stitch, 2 half double crochets into each stitch all the way around. And you guys go ahead and finish that up, and I'll meet you back at the end of this round. And here we are at the end of round 2. We're just going to slip stitch right in there. You see it's kind of angled down, but once you get in there and slip stitch, it will pull that stitch right up where it's supposed to be. And so that is the end of round 2. And you should have 24 stitches because you've put 2 into each around. And now we're going to do our third row. And for our third row, we're going to chain up 1 again. We're going to yarn over, go into that same stitch, and do a half double crochet, and then 2 half double crochets into the next stitch, and then we're going to do 1 half double crochet into the next, whoops, lost my yarn there, and then 2 half double crochets into the next one, and that is going to be our pattern all the way around. For this round we're going to be doing 2 and then 1, and I will meet you guys back. So just continue to do that, 1 half double crochet and then 2 in the next, 1 half double crochet in the next, do that all the way around, and I will meet you back at the end of this round number 3. Here we are at the end of the 3rd round. In my last stitch there, lost my yarn again. In my last stitch I'm going to be doing 2 half double crochets, and that will end the pattern for that round. We're going to slip stitch right there to that very first stitch. We're going to slip stitch to close off that round, and now we're going to be moving on to round 4. So we're going to chain up 1 and do 2 half double crochets into the same stitch, and then we're going to do 1 half double crochet into the next, 1 half double crochet into the next, and then we are going to increase again by putting 2 half double crochets right there. So that is going to be our pattern for this round. We are going to 2 half double crochets, then 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets. To me, so I don't get confused once I start getting you know, this far along in a project, in my head I usually will say increase in my head for the ones where I'm putting 2 double crochets. So I say increase. For this one we're increasing, which is putting 2 in, and then I count 1, 2, and then increase. And that is what we are going to do all the way around this circle. We're going to do 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, and then 2 half double crochets in the same stitch all the way around. And I'm going to go ahead and let you guys finish doing that, and I will meet you back at the end of this round. And now this is the end of round 4, so we're just going to slip stitch to close it right here. And we are going to do 1 more row of round 5. Now if you want your pig to be a little bit smaller, you can stop right here at 4 rows. I'm going to make this one the deeper pink little pig that I made in the pictures at the beginning. That was just 4 rows. This one we're going to do another row. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1, and we're going to half double crochet into the first 3, and then we're going to increase, and then we're going to half double crochet 1, 2, and 3, and then we are going to increase in the next, and that's putting 2 in the same one. So we go 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets, 3 half double crochets, and then we increase, and that is going to be our pattern for this 5th row all the way around. So I'm going to let you guys go ahead and finish that up, and I will meet you back when we're done with this last row. And here we are finishing up the 5th row, and we're just going to slip stitch again to close that, and you should have a flat circle that looks just like this. And there's 2, 3, 4, there's 5 rows that we've done. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to work on making the ears. And so we want little pig ears to go on the front. So we're going to chain up 1, and we're going to yarn over and half double crochet into that same stitch. And we're going to half double crochet just right along the top. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we've made, that's going to be how big one ear will be. So we're going to, we half double crochet across 10. We're going to chain up 1. We're going to turn our work, and we're going to decrease on both sides of this. So you're going to yarn over, and you're going to skip that first stitch. Just pretend like it's not even there and just go straight into that second one. And we're going to do a half double crochet there. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and now we're going to we're going to skip one stitch and go into the last one. So I went into that, I'm skipping that stitch, so don't do that. Skip that stitch and go into that very last one, and that's going to decrease also on that side because we want our little pig ears to be kind of pointed at the top. So then we're going to just chain up 1, turn our work, and we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to skip that first stitch. We're going to go into that second stitch with a half double crochet. So we're decreasing by 2 each row. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to skip that stitch and go into the last one for 6 total stitches. Chain up 1, turn our work, and do the same thing. Skip that stitch, go into the second, and we're just going to keep decreasing on both sides. There's 1, 2, 3, and we're going to only have 4 total stitches, so we skip that one and go into the last one. Okay, and then we chain up 1, turn our work. We only have 4 stitches total, so we're going to skip the first one, go into the second one, do a half double crochet, skip the third one, go into the fourth one for a half double crochet, chain 1, turn our work. We only have 2 stitches, so we're just going to skip the first one and go into the second one, and this is going to finish off the top of our little pig ear. So then we want to kind of get back down to our main circle here so we can do the other ear. See if you can kind of see what that looks like. So I'm just going to slip stitch down the side of the ear, and see how it kind of curls in. You want it to do that. And then I'm going to make the other ear over here. So we're going to just slip stitch down, and there's no like perfect way of doing this because it's kind of the ends of the rows, but just wherever you think a slip stitch needs to be so it doesn't pull the ear super tight, but you do want it to be a little bit curled in. And we're just going to slip stitch down the side of the ear till we get to the main circle that we have made. There we go. And so now I'm just going to single crochet across the top of the head until I get to where I want the other ear to be. And so I'm just going to kind of eyeball it because it doesn't have to be exact. About right there is where I want the back of the other ear to come. So I'm going to count the 10 stitches for the ear. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stitches in between the ears. So that worked out really well. So we're going to do 10 single crochets. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now we're going to start on the second ear. So we're going to do half double crochets again. So yarn over, and we're going to do 10 half double crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm just making sure I've got 8. Yeah, I do. Okay, 9 and 10. We're going to chain 1. We're going to turn our work and do the same thing we did on the other ear, which is skipping that first stitch, going into the second one, and we're just going to decrease on both sides again. So we're decreasing by 2 every single row. So we're just going to keep going across here, skip the second to last stitch, and go into the last stitch with a half double crochet. Then we're just going to chain 1 and turn our work, and we're going to keep doing that all the way up till the top of this ear. So I'm going to stop here and let you guys do that, and I'll meet you back at the top of this ear. Okay, here we are at the top of the ear, and I'm just going to chain 1, and we're going to continue on down towards the bottom of the face of the pig. We're going to slip stitch down this side of the ear to keep us going in that same direction. And like I said, it doesn't have to be exact, just wherever you think a slip stitch should go to get you down, that it's not pulling the ears super tight. So we're just going to slip stitch all the way down here until we get to the main circle of the head. And your ears should look something like that. So as you can see, they kind of curl in a little bit, and that just gives it some character and adds cuteness, I think. So you want them to be kind of curled in. And so now we're gonna work down to the bottom, and we're gonna add little feet on at the bottom of our pig. So this is what you should have so far. It's got fuzzies on it, so I don't know why there's so much. Okay, there we go. So down here we're gonna add 2 little feet on the bottom, and you just kind of look at yours and kind of guess. I think it looks cute when they're not like exactly perfectly centered, but you can do that if you want to. And we're just gonna put them, you know, about right here. And so to get down there, I'm just going to crochet down there to the bottom. You can find the middle if you want to. Just you can fold them in half and find your center point, and if you want to do it that way, you absolutely can. And just put a little stitch marker in there or something like that to find where you want how many stitches in between and where you want your feet to be exactly. That's totally fine to do it that way. And so we're just going to continue on from where we were at and just single crochet down to where you want to start your legs at. So I'm going to go ahead and start one leg right here. We're going to do a half double crochet. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so then we're going to chain up 1, turn your work, and we're going to half double crochet back for 4, because that's just going to be his little hoof coming off of there. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to chain up 1 and go back across. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now to get back down to our main circle, we're just going to slip stitch down the side of his leg there. And that will get us back to the main circle of the body of the little pig. Okay, we're going to continue with single crocheting. There's 1, 2, 3, and that gets us to our middle point of the pig. So we're going to do 1, 2, and we're going to just start our half double crocheting. We're going to do 4, so there's 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to chain up 1, do 4 back across. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Chain up 1. We have 1 more row for his little leg. And there's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we're going to just slip stitch down the side of his leg and then single crochet back up to the ear so it matches our other side. So there's our slip stitching down the side, and then we are just going to single crochet back up to the top till we get back to the bottom of the first ear. And that gets our little pig to have ears and little feet. And that is all we need to do to him for right now on this front piece. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead, leave a long tail, because that's what you're going to sew together to the back of the pig. So you cut a long string here and go ahead and pull it through one more time just to secure it and kind of pull that tight. And this is what you should have: a little circle pig with 2 little pig ears and 2 little pig feet. And this is going to be the front of the pig, and so his little ears curl in and look super cute. And we need to make a little nose for his face, so I'm going to do that not on there. We're going to make it by itself and then attach it onto the face. So you can go ahead and just get your yarn again, and we're going to make another magic circle. So make that X across your fingers, put your hook through the bottom of the X, yarn over, pull that yarn through, keep your circle open there. We're going to be working into the circle. So you're going to chain 1, yarn over, we're going to do a half double crochet. So there's 1, 2, chain 1, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets, pull that just a little tighter so got room, and then we're going to chain 1, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets, chain 1, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets, chain 1, and we're going to slip stitch back to the beginning. Now I want his little nose to be kind of flat across the top and the bottom, and then kind of more like an oval shape, so kind of sticking out on the sides a little bit to make his little snout. So for the second round, we're going to chain up 1, and in that little, we want that, here's the part we want to be, I'm just going to try to keep that top part flat and kind of make it go out more on the sides to make the little pig snout. So in that first one, we're going to do a half double crochet. The next one gets a half double crochet. Then we're going to single crochet all across, and then slip stitch, second slip stitch, third slip stitch, 4 slip stitches, half double crochet for 3 on the other side, and then we're going to slip stitch back across the top so that it keeps that more flat and with rounded on the side, and that's going to make it be more of an oval shape instead of just a little round snout. So I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my yarn, pull it through one more time, and that gives us a little pig snout. So if you have some black yarn, you can get that now, and you don't need a whole lot. You just need like a tiny bit, and we'll make some little nostrils on our little pig snout so that he can breathe, I guess. I'm just going to go ahead and cut it, and I'm going to use my yarn needle to make the nostrils on the little snout, and I'll put this so you all can actually see my black yarn. With that black background, it makes it harder, so I'm just going to thread my needle, and see, I want that to be the top of his nose, and I'm just going to come up from the bottom and leave, just don't pull it all the way through, just leave part of it behind, and I'll tie it in just a second, and then just go straight up, and all I'm doing is I'm going to make 2 little stitches. There's 1 and 2, and that is all I'm doing to make his little snout. And then I'm just going to come to the back and tie those together. I'll get this one a little closer to the other one, just kind of sewing it in there to hold it in place, and then I'm just going to tie them back here, and then we'll put it on his face. And it's going to be sewn onto the face, so the back of his little snout nobody will ever see. So I'm just going to tie it and then kind of cut them short so I don't have to sew in any more ends or anything. Just get it good and secure back there, and then you can just cut them off. Then we'll get our yarn needle again and thread the pink yarn through it here, and we are going to sew his nose onto his face. And there's no perfect way of doing this. You can do it however you want to. This is the one that's coming out of the middle of the pig nose, so I'm just going to stick it right into the middle of the face, and then sew it around just by going back and forth, top and bottom. So once you get that sewn on, I will show you what to do next. So go ahead and finish sewing on your pig snout, and I'll meet you right back. Okay, now you have your little pig snout sewn on, and you can see where you want to put his eyes will be the next thing. You can kind of see, I'm not going to put mine on just yet. What we need to do next is go ahead and make the back of the pig, which we're going to make exactly like we did this first circle. With the first 5 rows are going to be exactly the same. So we're going to start out with our magic circle, put our hook at the bottom of the X there, yarn over, pull it through, and we're going to start out by making 12 half double crochets into this circle. And I'm going to go ahead and put up just a reminder of all the rounds of what you're going to do. I'm not going to go to make the video not be super long, I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead to once we have this circle completed. So we're going to do 5 rows, and I'm going to meet you back here, and I'm going to put just a little reminder of the pattern that we're doing. You can pause it and then finish that and then continue. So let's go ahead and make the back of our little pig. Okay, here we are. We have finished the 5 rounds. We're at the back. We're going to do one more round for the back, and I wanted to show you guys how to do that. We're going to do one more half double crochet round, and we're going to do it in the back loops only. So find the top of your V-stitch, go in that back loop, put your hook down the middle of those stitches, and we're going to do one row of one half double crochet in each stitch all the way around in the back loops only. So as you're going along here, we're just half double crocheting into that back loop only. And as you can see, it kind of makes it turn a little bit, and that's gonna just help give a little body to our pig that we're gonna sew. That way when we sew it on, there's a little room for the stuffing, I guess, as we're putting it in there. It helps it just kind of round that corner there to do that. So I want you guys to go ahead and do a half double crochet in each stitch all the way around in the back loops only, and then I'm going to meet you back at the end of this round. Here we are at the end, and you can see how it kind of turns it, and this is kind of how our little pig is going to go together, just like this. And the little feet in the front, and we're going to sew that on here in just a minute, but we're not quite done. Let's see, you're going to be using this to sew it on, so you have that long tail. There's the front of our pig. So he'll go face down. I'm going to go ahead and cut that. We're done with our rounds here, so we're going to pull it through one more time. And we have one more thing that we're going to do, is make a little tail for our pig that's going to go right in the middle, and we're going to do that before we start sewing them together. So if you just get your yarn, this will be super fast, quick little curly cute tail. You're going to make a slip knot, put your hook in. We're going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go into the back loop, or the back bump there, and we're going to do half double crochets all the way down this. And when so yeah, all we're doing is half double crochets all the way down this chain that we just made. And so I'm going to meet you back at the bottom of this chain. Here we are at the bottom of the chain, and as you can see, it curls up really nicely. Well, I've got just a couple more left, but it's having a little curly cute tail here. So we're just going to half double crochet in these last couple, and that gets you your little pig tail. Here's the last one, which is usually the hardest one to get into, at least for me anyway. There we go. And so now you're just going to pull those tight, and your tail will just curl up really nicely, just like that. I'm going to get the scissors, cut my yarn, pull it through one more time to secure it. And then what I like to do is I'm just going to tie these together. Just right like that. tie them good and tight, make our little pigtail secure, and you can kind of curl it up, and it does that. We're going to sew it on right in the middle of the back on the outside of what we want, and that will be our little pigtail right there. So I'm going to get my yarn needle and go ahead and thread that and just put it right through the middle on the back of the pig, and go ahead and sew that on, and then I'll show you the next step to our project. Okay, here we are. We have our little pigtail sewn on, and now we're going to get our long tail from the front. That's right below the front of the pig's ear, and we're just going to start to sew together the front and the back of the pig. And I am just going to go through one stitch and into another. We're just going to go back and forth. Oh, got the pig's tail in there. So we're just going to go back and forth, or I got his foot. I guess that wasn't his tail, it was his foot. Back and forth just right like that under both stitches on both sides, the front and back of the pig. And we're just going to do that. Not all the way around yet, because we are going to leave a little opening so that we can stuff our pig. But we're just going to back and forth just like this. And we're going to do that most of the way around, and then we'll stuff him. Well, before we do that, we also have to add the eyes, but I like to do that kind of once he's together so that I can see where I think that they're going to go. When you get to the legs down at the bottom, you're going to go underneath. You're just going to keep going like the normal circle, so the little legs are going to hang down. So you don't want to sew those to the end. So you're just going to keep going, and when you get to the leg will hang past, and you're going to just keep going right across that same line that you've been doing. So you don't want to, just right like that and go straight around the normal circle that you're doing. You're just sewing the circles together, and the little legs will hang down, and it'll be the same way with the ears at the top. You don't want to sew the ears to the back of the pig. Those are going to stick up. So go ahead and do this till you just have a little bit of an opening left, and I'm going to show you. We'll stuff them and put the eyes on, and we'll go from there. So go ahead and keep sewing around just a little bit further till you just have a little hole at the top, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I just went to the other side of the first ear, and so we still have just a little bit of the head and the ear that are open. And that way we have room to put the stuffing in and to put the eyes on. I'm gonna, like I said, you'd be using these little safety eyes. And I just kind of like to, there's no perfect way to put the eyes on or where they have to be. And I'm just gonna kind of try them a couple different places and see where I think they look best on the little pig. So, and you can do the same thing. You don't have to put them in any certain spot. You can just, I think I like them a little wider on this guy. But yeah, so you can just do that to find the eyes. I do like these safety eyes though, because once you click those backs on there, they can't come off, and this is going to be a little stuffed animal, so I'm sure, little kid could have it. So you don't want the eyes to be off, because that could be a choking hazard. That you definitely do not want to have anything like that happen. So you just get your eyes where you want them. If you've never used safety eyes before, you can get them at any craft store, Walmart, or anywhere like that. And let's see. Move that one, I think, right there. And they don't have to be perfect, because that's kind of what gives all your little animals their own little personality and their own little unique look, I think. So, let's see. Yeah, I think I'll leave them. I'll just go with that. And then you just click the safety eyes. You just push that on there nice and tight and get it on there good. And then do the other one. definitely want to do this before you stuff it. And so there's his little eyes on. And then I'm just gonna, I just have poly fiber fill that I got from Walmart, and I'm just going to push it in this little guy and just stuff him. That kind of gets everywhere, but that's okay. So you're just going to fill him up as much as you want, and then just continue sewing the rest of the top together just the way you've done. So go ahead and get your pig stuffed the way that you want him and sew him closed, and I'll meet you right back here. Alright, so here we have our little pig who is stuffed and sewn together, and I just tied a little knot in the back and put the yarn needle through. And now we're going to have one more thing that I want to show you guys how to make, and that is a little flower that we're going to put in on our pig's ear. So I am just going to use this purple yarn that I have. You can use any, it does not take much yarn. So we're going to make our magic circle again, put our crochet hook in at the bottom of that X, pull it through, and we're going to chain up 1. And we're going to do a treble crochet, which is yarning over twice. Go into the circle, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. We're going to do another treble crochet, and then one more. So yarn over twice, go in, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. And then we're going to single crochet. And then we're going to do 3 more treble crochets. So we just did 3 treble crochets and a single crochet, and now we're going to do 3 more treble crochets, and this is creating our petals on our flower. Here's our second petal. There's our third treble crochet. We're going to single crochet again. Now 3 more treble crochets for our third petal. I'm just going to make 4 little petals, and it'll be a quick, very quick little flower. So yarn over twice. So we're going to do 3 treble crochets here. There's 1, 2, and 3 single crochet. Now we've got to make our last petal, so we're going to do 3 last treble crochets and a single crochet, and then we'll slip stitch to close it, and our flower will be done. So there's 1, 2, 3 single crochet, and then slip stitch to close right in there, and we're just going to pull that tight. Cut our yarn, pull it through one more time, and then we are just going to sew it and tie it onto our little pig. And then once you have it sewn on, it will look something like this, and you can have that, your cute little pig with a little flower in her ear. And I am just going to do one more thing and make a little bow to put on her tail. So I'm just going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. And I'm just going to cut this yarn, pull it tight on both ends, flip over our little pig, I'm just going to go ahead and cut those shorter off of there. We'll flip her over to her little curly cute tail, And I am just going to tie this in a little bow, so she's got a little bow on her tail too. And if I can get it tied, there we go. And now we have our little pink pig with a cute little purple bows and flower in her ear. So there you go. Your pig is all done. And I really hope you enjoyed this project, and I hope that you love your little pig, and it'll have a somebody to play with her and cuddle with her. And this is just a really cute little soft little stuffed toy here. So thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I would love to see pictures, or if you can email me or let me know what you've made, and I would love, like I said, to see pictures of that. And I hope you enjoy your little pig. If you enjoyed this video, please do subscribe to my channel and like our videos. And thank you so much for watching. I hope everybody has an absolutely wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Thanks.